Hi everyone, Calum from Calum Bike Training here, and welcome to the middle of nowhere. So, for those of you that don't recognise where I am on the Dukes Pass. That is a road that connects Aberfoyle to Loch Katrine. Nice windy back road, lots of fun. And I thought today, as I was going out and having a bit of a fun run, we could talk a little bit about the start of biking season and what dangers that poses and what we can do just to make ourselves a little bit safer. So this video is not really for people who have held their license for a few years, because you guys already know now, but for the guys who maybe passed with me last year. This would be a good one for you when you're going out of your first winter. And look at that view, by the way. Look at that. And people wonder why Scotland's one of the best countries for riding bikes in, when it's like this anyway. Anyway, so yeah, for people that have passed their test within the first sort of year or so, your first sort of back to season moment is actually quite a dangerous moment. What a lot of people don't realise is that you can't ride your bike as fast, as hard, as progressively as what you did at the end of last season, because you're out of practice. You know, it's like any skill. If you have a guitarist who has played guitar for a couple of years, then suddenly stops playing for 4 months, they aren't going to be as good when they start playing again. And it's the exact same thing with motorcycles. So be aware of that when you are getting back on your bike after the winter. Although obviously the weather here is really nice today. Bloody potholes in this road. This isn't actually, so one thing I should say, and I'm going to get quite distracted as I'm going down this road. A, because it's a lot more demanding than all the time stuff that I've done so far, and B, I got a bit of a bee in my bonnet about this road because the surface on it is usually absolutely diabolical. See the sort of patches of gravel and stuff at the side of the road there, they usually spread across the road, and you get loads and loads and loads of loose stones. One of the questions, and again this is probably the reason I've chosen this road as well, one of the questions I get from more experienced bikers that you see on Facebook all the time is, how's the surface in the Dukes Pass this year? So, fucking stones there. I thought I'd come out and go over a bit of that as well. Anyway, so as I said, riding your bike, you're going to be rusty. Best bit of advice I can give people who are sort of on their first start of season when they've got their licence and everything like that, I actually get a motor in that, mate, is to almost ride in the dry like you would in the rain. So take it nice and easy, go early in your brakes, go soft on your brakes, go soft in your acceleration, be careful of the lines that you're taking as you're going around corners, and just take your time, like these chaps here. I'm going to be the idiot and wave halfway around the corner. There we go. There we go, excellent. Right. But yeah, definitely another thing as well is, and I should point this out, although I'm on this road and talking about this isn't a road that I would actually advise you to go on for your first ride of the season. It's a very demanding road, lots of bends in it, and I mean, anyone who knows me will know that I'm going exceptionally slow at the moment for me, but there's a reason for that. This is the first country riding that I've done this year as well. It's been a wee while since I've actually went out and done a fun run myself. So again, this is me doing my little bed in point as well. And overtaking on this road is an absolute pain. But anyway, right. So other things to talk about then. When you are getting yourself ready for going out in season as well, just remember your bike's important as well. If your bike's been sitting there for sort of 3 or 4 months and it hasn't been used, then thank you, Mr. Focus, you're going to get a thumbs up as I go past. Excellent, thank you. Right, so your bike's been sitting there. It's well worth checking that over as well. Remember that you can take your bike to a mechanic and get it checked over. I mean, even stupid stuff like if you've got rubber brake hoses on your bike, make sure they've not been perished, make sure they're still holding pressure so that you're not getting any brake fade. Other things that you want to maybe think about as well is even something stupid like tyre pressures. You'd be amazed at the things that people don't think about when they are out riding the bike. Hey, you can got a little peace sign there. It's amazing the amount of things that people don't think about when they're just jumping on the bike again. I mean, if you're using your bike nearly every day, then, you check your tyre pressures, if and so you do. But when your bike's been sitting for a while, remember that, you know, stupid stuff like tyre pressures are really important, because your bike could have lost 10 psi, 15 psi just from that. Other things as well would be stuff like your battery. Make sure your battery's healthy, especially in the cold weather. If you've left your battery connected to your bike, chances are it's going to be dead, or it's not going to hold a charge. So don't just bump start your bike, take it out, go somewhere like Aberfoyle for lunch, turn your bike off and then realise that you're stuck, because that's not very fun either. Again, look at that view. God, I've forgotten how gorgeous this road is. Shame about all the bumps and stones and everything, mind you, but this road. Anyway, so definitely something to think about is sort of maintenance side of your bike. And as I said, remember there are bike mechanics, and bike mechanics are in business for a reason, not just to make money obviously, but that's one of the things you can use a bike mechanic for. You know, phone a bike mechanic, tell them that you're getting your bike ready for summer riding again, and they will check it over. I mean, even stupid stuff like greasing moving parts. I mean, my own personal view, I try and time the services in my bike so that they're coinciding with when I'm starting to do runs like this. So for example, I've got new spark plugs, new oil, new filters and everything like that to go in this pretty much after this ride, or certainly tomorrow at least, but it's certainly something you want to think about. Okay, how cool's that road, by the way? Just to say, yeah, Drake's Pass, by the way, just to give you a little bit of info about it. It's a sort of the mountain pass, if you like, or Trossachs Pass, where you go over the Trossachs, and it'll eventually take us out at Calum and back towards Callander. Great road. As I said, it's kind of a little bit sketchy. You can see, don't know if you can see, but I can certainly see there's a lot of stones in the middle here you've got to watch for. But you can see there's some really, really fun, demanding corners on it. We're now starting to get back onto what I would term as not the Duke's Pass. For me, the Duke's Pass finishes there. But this part of the road here, so we've got Loch Katrine just behind us where the Wattle Scott steamship is. And then we are carrying out along here, and as I said, this will take us through Brigaturk and then eventually out to Kilmahog. Whether or not I still talk as we're going along there, we'll see. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, so going out for your first run in the summer or spring, certainly I would be saying to you, take it easy. Start out with a nice easy route to start with, just to get your cobwebs blown off. And also remember as well, and I'll mention this and I'll go over it in more detail in another video, but also remember that there are some advanced riding groups that you can get in contact with, like IAM or ROSPA. See how much that guy was over on my side of the road there, by the way. That little shift into the left there. Just make sure you don't hit me, typical Audi rider. Anyway, yeah, it's certainly something to think about, and as I said, you really do need to be on the ball, especially when you're doing sort of more demanding roads like this one that we've just done, where you've got lots of stopping, lots of starting, lots of random people walking along roads like that, crazy people. Especially going 2x2 by like, what are they doing on the brow of a hill? Anyway, but yeah, certainly something that you want to be thinking about. Hey, nice standing water here. I'm on a KTM, that doesn't bother me. But yeah, I think that's everything I wanted to say. Sorry this being a bit more rambly. As I said, a little bit more of a demanding road, so I've actually had to think about my, not that I don't always think about my riding, but I've had to think about my riding a little bit more than what I usually would. But best things to take away from this is, when you're riding for the first time of the season, take it easy. Don't try and ride like you were riding at the end of the prior season, and make sure your bike gets checked over. If you're confident enough to do that yourself, then do it. I'll probably bring out a video next week or the week after, if I can manage it, just sort of going in a little bit more detail about the sort of checks that I would do on the bike. We've obviously got the module to show me, tell me questions, which will give you a rough idea of what you want to be checking, but I will do a sort of specialised video for sort of getting your bike back on the road checks. Getting all these stones here, yeah, so for those that are wondering, the Jigs Pass still does have a lot of gravel on it, but it's not as bad as what I have seen it. Saying that though, I've not exactly been horsing it around here, so if you are planning going a little bit faster along these roads, then I'd probably think twice about it. I'm actually compromising my position here because of all the gravel in the middle of the road here. But yeah, be careful if you're coming up here, guys. Surface isn't the best, but when is it ever? And yeah, I think that's me, so I will leave you in Brig of Turk, and yeah, keep it safe, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers, bye bye.